Trump will win. Most Americans aren't intelligent. For someone who at 84 has just retired from frontline politics by giving up his seat in the House of Lords, Jeffrey Archer seems as obsessed as ever by the minutiae of national and international affairs. On the evening of the day we meet, he is off to give a speech to a Conservative Party gathering to rally their spirits in the wake of the crushing defeat at the polls in July. In 2019, I voted for Jeremy Hunt rather than Boris Johnson as our new leader and Prime Minister to succeed Theresa May. And if he'd won, we would have gone into the recent general election only having had one Prime Minister in 5 years. Johnson, Truss, and Sunak wouldn't have been needed, and we would have lost to Labour by just 50 seats, not this horrid number. Telling his audience, "I told you so," won't cheer them up, I suggest, when his party is wondering how to recover after a landslide defeat. No, but we have to understand the challenge the party is facing. Labour's 33.7% of the vote in July is not the 43.2% Tony Blair got in 1997. He had a 49% approval rating. Keir Starmer's is already minus 4%. The Conservatives could well be back in 5 years' time, he insists. The usual rule, if you lose by that much, is that you're out for 10 years. I don't think it will be that this time. Crucial, though, is who members like Lord Archer and his wife, Dame Mary, 79, vote for when their moment comes in November. They are presently undecided. An award-winning scientist specializing in solar energy, she has since 1988 chaired various public bodies and received her DBE in 2012 for service to the NHS. However, this week, the new Labour Culture Secretary, Lisa Nandy, cancelled her new appointment as chair of London's Royal Parks in what some have suggested is part of a purge of those selected by the previous Tory government. Her husband is unusually measured on this very public snub. When I heard the news, I was naturally disappointed. What I do know is what an excellent job Mary did as chairman of the Cambridge Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust and the Science Museum Group. He switches the conversation back to the Tory leadership race. "We will attend our local hustings and make up our minds," he says. "I don't know any of the 4 candidates well, but I know James Cleverly a little, and he's a very nice man." However, he issues a warning to fellow members. Any drift to the right will only result in reform becoming even stronger, and that will keep Labour in power for 30 years. And he is also keeping a keen eye on the forthcoming American presidential election. "I'd vote for Kamala Harris if I had a vote," he says. "I couldn't vote for Trump, but I think he'll win. 3/4 of Americans are not intelligent. But politics is not what we are here to talk about." He rebukes me sternly. As we sit in his spectacular penthouse apartment, with great glass windows looking straight out downstream of the Thames to his erstwhile political home, the Houses of Parliament. It is his London base, scene of his famous Krug and Shepherd's Pie Christmas parties for the great and good, though he and Mary, who have 2 sons, William and James, and 5 grandchildren, divide their time between here, the Old Vicarage, Grantchester, and Cambridge, subject of Rupert Brooke's celebrated 1912 poem, and their place in Mallorca.